Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm super excited to be joined again by my friend and business partner, Mr. Michael Vincent. He's got these amazing intros. You have to watch the video to see it. And today we're going to be talking about our AI SaaS Phase 3 project and a $2 million capital raise. Super excited about what we're going to be able to do with this. Now, we're going to be talking about the market and what it is and what it isn't, right? This is
Yeah.
a transformational thing that we're doing. And it wasn't even possible really 5 to 6 years ago. But
Oh,
now, with the computing power, the AI tools, the frameworks that we have, we can do this. And so we're super excited to talk about it. I'm actually going to share my screen today and we're going to dive
aha.
into a couple of
Woohoo. Make
things.
sure it's the right one, dude. I've seen those commercials. It can be embarrassing. You know, it's interesting because this is the third time, fourth time in my career of 30, wow, now it's like 38 years
Mm,
in logistics that uh I am on involved with a bleeding edge technology that couldn't have been done because of technology previously.
right,
Wasn't it because it wasn't there, right?
right.
And the first one is back in the 80s at Roadway. Rapid roadway advanced planning for inbound dispatch that we started through the computations. What were your man hours going to look like? What your efficiencies and what were your routing going to look like 5 days into the future? Because you knew all the pickups that were made throughout the country, right? So every
Right.
little place. So we developed that, right?
Yeah.
And then with all that information and computing power and DBase 4, remember DBase 4 and all that kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I was on the remove the drag lines and rectilinear motion throughout warehousing, creating actual real crosstalk, right?
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
then freight wave sonar, which was not possible previous because of the lack of the proliferation of IoT devices, smartphones, cloud computing, right? And
That's
here we
right.
are again, sitting on the verge of another epic change. It's amazing. I love
Absolutely.
it. It's
It
fantastic.
is. It is an amazing time to be alive.
Yeah.
And it is something, I'm just going to address it. It's not a transportation management system. It's not another TMS. This is optimizing not
Thank
only the
God.
freight, not only the freight, but also the operations, right? The management of it. And so it's more than just transportation management. It's really how you book freight, how you manage freight, how you work with shippers, how you work with carriers and 3PLs. It's all tied into one big thing that we're doing here.
The,
And
the really cool thing is if I could just add a little bit of A1 sauce to that or AI SaaS to that, Andy, is it's not just strategic or tactical, it's both
yeah,
when you're talking about working
right.
together, right? It is the daily mundane and it is the strategic growth of it. And might I add, it solves, in my mind, one of the biggest problems, barrier to entry.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's transformational. It really is. And the total addressable market. Um, we digging through various different sources of information, and it's roughly 1.5 trillion in total freight business in the USA
Yeah.
per year.
And if you
Now,
look that up again, it'll change to like 1.6 and then it'll go to 1.7, then 1.5.
yep, exactly.
It's in that range. It is no doubt in that range,
We
right?
chose to go with U.S. Department of Labor, U.S. Department of Transportation, U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis, and the Federal Reserve Economic Data. That's what
Yeah.
we're using
Yeah.
here. And
I just
the addressable market, it's a big part, obviously, of the economy. I looked and the U.S. GDP was something like 21.9 trillion. And so you're talking about the freight industry is about 1.5 trillion of that. So that's the market, right? The market is there, obviously. The thing that I love as well is just the team and the experience as well, which we're going to talk about. But what is it? So currently shippers waste up to 50% of their time and spend 6 to 11% too much money on freight, right? Cargo theft
Wow.
also
There's
costs
a
the
whole
USA.
bunch of truckers out there right now that just went, huh?
Well, but it's because of all the middle processes and middle fees and things that are happening, right?
Well, that's it.
Um,
And the carriers aren't getting that money because of all the other inefficiencies that are in there.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's
right,
that's the idea.
exactly.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
shippers are paying more, the carriers aren't getting it anyway. So it's
No,
like it's just sunken costs is what I would call that. Um,
absolutely.
and then the other thing we're talking about is theft, right? Cargo theft costs the USA freight industry up to $35 billion a year. Let's
Yeah.
address that as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, our AI SaaS platform is designed to help shippers solve these problems while also helping vetted 3PLs and carriers book freight more efficiently.
Mm.
And it's all of these things. It's more efficient freight booking. It's the suppliers and leads. It's better financial decisions. It's elimination of cargo theft. It's RFPs and execution tools. We have media and marketing. We have 36,000 subscribers to our data. Come be a part of our community, right? It's business intelligence. And it's also helping companies streamline their sales growth, right? Improve their sales growth. So it's all of these things in one. It's a community and tools is the way I would probably classify it.
I agree
All in
with you.
one thing.
It's amazing, Andy, because we started with one little thing like 4 years ago. We've been slowly going, but this, and here, and we can add that, we can add that. And one of my most favorite ones is the business intelligence solutions, because my beef with new technologies and new knowledge is that we just sprint down this path of knowledge without bringing along our intelligence, and that has hindered the growth of business intelligence because of the ability of boneheads to just spam anybody with the crazy idea. And so the moats are so thick, right? So if you could
Right.
take those away, man, we could sprint forward so much faster.
The
So
things
much
you can
faster.
do when you have the visibility. You talked about Sonar. I'm going to talk about one example as well. I
Yeah.
was with Appian Logistics Software, TMW Systems, and Trimmel for 16 years of my career. One
Mm-hmm.
of the big things I saw a lot of things. The introduction of GPS was
Mm-hmm.
transformational.
Yeah.
Then those became the ELDs, which was transformational.
Yeah.
We had fleet routing optimization for final mile multi stop. So distribution center to stores or homes. And basically, what we did was we combined that optimized routing, right, with all these algorithms going, "No, this is the best answer." And then you combine that with real time dispatch and visibility. That changes
Mm.
everything.
Oh
So
yeah.
we could then start texting and emailing people that the driver was 30 minutes behind, 20 minutes ahead. That client didn't even have to, they could click on a map and go, "Oh, I see he's already been to Chicago. He's coming to Dubuque, Iowa next." Like we're good, right? And so it just completely changed everything for the shippers and for the carriers and for the drivers. Instead of calling a guy named Fred on a route and "Hey man, where are you? What's going on?" You just look like, "Hey, I can see
Yeah.
everything that's green, everything that's yellow, and everything that's red." And just, hey, I only need to look at the red, right? I don't need to look at the green. The
Yeah.
green's okay.
I still use it to track Santa Claus.
Yeah, exactly. Track Santa Claus. Absolutely right. But it was transformational when you added these capabilities together. That's the thing, right? It just transforms everybody's operations. Bill and Sally that were supposed to unload a truck, if they know when it's going to be there exactly, they're not off with a forklift or a pallet jack somewhere a half a building away, like they're ready. And so it transformed things and it really grew really, really well. And I was really fortunate to be a part of that. But we're talking about taking a bunch of disparate tools and
Mm.
systems and combining them into one thing to streamline everything and reduce costs. That's really what it is.
Oh, and there's a fairly decently thick layer of sauce on top of that to make it all meld together and move it forward, right? There's all these different, yeah, in other words, there's all these pieces parts, but you got to add a little magic dust on top of it to do what we're talking about here, right? Because
Right.
this is the parts are out there being worked on. They need to be brought together. That's
Right.
that's that's the secret sauce, and how those intermingle and work together is tremendous. Because I mean, even when you look at this, imagine the billions of dollars that are sitting out there in completed contracts that are waiting for verification that could be released into the economy.
Right.
That something like this, if it were to come to fruition, could eventually unlock the key to that. It's
Yep.
massive. It's massive.
It's transformational. It's a really, truly a new category. It really is. I mean, it's like, I know this is going to sound crazy to some people, but it's like an Uber idea or an Amazon kind of an idea.
Are we going
That
to bring that back? We're the Uber of freight, and we're the
no, because
Amazon.
there's already Uber Freight, right?
That's true. We're the Uber
So
of
we
freight.
can't be that.
Yeah,
Um,
that doesn't work anymore, does
but
it?
no, that's a good example, though.
Yeah.
Transformative tech, and Uber's of course everywhere. And I read this awesome book, How Pirates and Dreamers Transform and Dominate Markets. Right. And Uber was one of those examples where the taxi industry woke up one day and went, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
we're in trouble.
Oops. Yeah, that's right.
Right. And it was a
That's
little
right.
too late at that point for them to completely pivot the entire industry. So Uber won because the audience and the buyers wanted it. Right. So they won.
Yeah.
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 Of
Absolutely.
course, there's still taxis today. Right. I see them at the airports, but it's not nearly like it used to be. Right. Man, in the
No,
old days,
it's
I
not. I
remember
mean,
you'd call a
yeah.
taxi and you'd be waiting for 2 hours and you'd call for an update and they're like, he's on his way. He's a block away. And you're like 20 minutes later, I thought you said he was a block away. That's not the
Yeah.
case with Uber. Like you're seeing him exactly where he's at.
It was interesting how you used to go and you'd stand in the taxi lines, right? And one of the worst ones ever was every time you ever got off a plane in Vegas, right? You went to that taxi line, like, holy crap. There's
Right.
18 million people in that taxi line. Then then the cool kids figured out Uber and Lyft and stuff. Well, it was Uber before Lyft. The cool kids were already, it was into the non-cool kids before Lyft even arrived. But all of a sudden there was people that getting in other cars and moving. Like, what the heck is that? Uber, holy cow. Now I'm doing that. Now there's Uber lines.
Yes, there is. I know it. Yeah, there's an
Now you
Uber
got to go
area
stand in an
now.
Uber line.
There's an
It's
Uber
like, okay,
queuing station over
they've done
there.
so good that they're now the taxis
Oh man,
in many cases.
yeah, it's transformational, right? I much prefer my Uber experience versus my taxi experiences. Let's say I was at a hotel, I called for a taxi, I needed to get to the airport or whatever, and I'm getting these updates. I'm waiting. Sometimes I'd have to book another one. So there's this thing that goes on in the industry now, double brokering, right?
Yeah.
That's a problem. Like it
Yeah. It's
causes
a big
tons of
problem.
it's a massive problem that's
It
causing a lot of
is.
inefficiencies, right?
It really is. It really is. And a lot of, well, I mean, the thing is that people don't understand is that the double brokering, it is, it steals in two different ways. There's a lot, if they're not in the industry or not too familiar with the industry, the double brokering can be used just to steal the freight fees, right?
Yep.
Or to actually theft of the cargo.
Yep.
Now, the freight fees, the freight fees, the theft of that freight fee or the monies, the revenue, is more common because it's easier. It's easier to get away with.
Right.
You
Right.
don't have to get to, I'd love to have the problem of trying to get rid of a 53 footer, stuffed with 20s, but that's a lot harder to do than an electronic, couple grand.
Right.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah. But that's just an example of look at the inefficiencies that causes for people to scramble around, right?
Yeah.
And then it also causes some of the theft that's going on to the $35 billion a year. Well, when you're a person that needs to get a shipment out and somebody says, I'm ready and I'm here, what are you going to do? Right? I mean, you're like, okay, here, you've got it. Go.
Urgency. You're talking about
Urgency.
urgency. It does it. Urgency causes it. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of causes there, and we can go down to millions of, all the way out to optionality. And if you can't go through that extrapolation of what I just said, just stay tuned. I'm sure we'll cover it in subsequent talks,
Right.
or you can DM me. But it, that's, there's motivation to go out and foment theft and create it and actually produce theft. And then there's environments that just naturally cause it to occur. Right.
Right.
And that's what I'm talking about. Then both of them, you were talking about either end of this cycle of trucking, when it's high and when it's low. There's two different cycles, and both of them promote theft,
Right. Right. Absolutely. And they also
but in
promote a
different ways.
ton of wasted time and money across the
Yeah.
board.
Yes.
So we're talking about that, addressing that. And the cool thing too, Michael, the team. We have the team in place that already has the experience, the knowledge, the know-how, been there, done that. And we're ready, right? I mean, I met with a private equity guy recently, and he said, "You guys are market ready. You've got the experience, the tools. You're on phase three. We're actually a 7-year-old company at this point. And it's been an iterative growth in our capabilities and what we're doing and what we're introducing, and we're market ready. So I'm super excited about our next phase for sure.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. Yeah. I mean, it's going to, as eyes go, oh, wow. And light bulbs go off, people go, oh, that's what they're doing. I think this will help quite a bit. There'll be a lot of people that go, aha, I see. But yeah, that the transformational change of the industry is occurring. And let's throw out that little piece of energy out there that's a catalyst to make it just tear it up and redo it.
Right, right, absolutely. It's transformational. And people's, in the industry, their jobs will change to different things, but they're bringing massive value. So they're worth a lot of money to bring those savings and that additional revenue and things into play, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it is a transformation. Um, and more to come as it unfolds. And the thing, when I was in tech development, basically in business development, but I also led, what should we do next? We had user conferences, right? We would present our roadmap and things we've done, and we would just ask the community, like, what are you looking for? And then that drove the next thing. And then we would do it again. And we just kept moving and moving and moving. And that's the thing I think that, we're able to do is keep moving forward and don't become stagnant. Don't just stop. Keep on moving forward, basically.
Mm.
So,
Amen. I
yeah.
love it. I love it, brother. I love it.
So, there's really the last thing. There's nothing out there that solves this need right now. There's a ton of inefficiency. We have the experience needed. There are tools available now in computing power and other things that are available that were not available before. And, just as a similar example, in our, current phase, Levity AI raised 11 million in capital for a SaaS platform that automates repetitive office tasks in the shipping industry, right? Um, and that's just an example of something that's been deployed and rolled out and growing and we're taking all these different systems, tools, and our community and making it a transformational thing, basically. So that's where
Hey,
we're headed. That's where we're going. Super excited. Thanks again for coming on and kind of talking it through with our audience as well.
absolutely. I'm really pumped, and we won't talk about names yet because they're heinous right now.
Yeah, true. We batted around a few names for this, and some of them are just not good. You put
It's
it
not.
in
They're not going to
an
work.
accurate. You put it in an acronym, and it's like, oh no, we can't do that. No.
Can't do that. No, there's no way anybody's going to be allowed to search for that on Google.
Oh man. But more to come on this front, super excited about where we're at, to be honest, how we've transformed and grown as a company, and then where we're going next. Super exciting times.
Amen. I can't wait, brother.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's just cut the tape so I can go work and get this going. I'm so excited.
All right.
I
That's
gotta
going to
go.
do it for this session. Thanks for listening or watching, everybody, and we will see you again on the next one. Take care.